Hello, everyone. My name is Adedayo Olumuyiwa. I am a lecturer. I am also an educational neuroscientist. I'm the president of Dyslexia Nigeria and Africa. Today, I have a very important topic to discuss with us, and the title of today's video is Cerebral Palsy and Dyslexia, 7 structured literacy-based ideas for cerebral palsy learners. I repeat, cerebral palsy and dyslexia, 7 structured literacy-based or inspired ideas for cerebral palsy learners. But before I go into discussing today's topic, I think it is important for me to let you understand or give you this information. Our organization, Edubrainings Africa Consulting Limited, we are currently training teachers, education students, parents, and school owners on a great concept that is titled Masterclass in Educational Neuroscience. If you look at it, this is the course curriculum. It contains about 25 groundbreaking topics. Everything that an educator needs in order to be competent on the job. Everything that the school owner needs in order to remain relevant in the highly competitive education industry or education business that thing has been covered. Things like dyslexia, dyscalculia, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, slow learners, poor performing learners, and in addition, we've also extended our trainings to cover the neurodivergent and developmentally impaired learners, like the cerebral palsy that I've just hinted us about. But by extension, this course covers learners and kids who have autism. Some who have Down syndrome. There are interventions and therapies based on years of research that we try to share with school owners, educators, and others, so that when these learners are within their learning environment, things to do in order to empower them, so that they will not feel as if they are maybe left behind in the learning environment. So if you're interested, please you just leave a comment. I will definitely get across to you. Now, once again, the topic is cerebral palsy and dyslexia. 7 structured literacy inspired ideas for cerebral palsy learners. Cerebral palsy is a very complicated difficulty or a disorder, and there are 3 categories of cerebral palsy, but that is going to be another topic for another video. But the truth is this: cerebral palsy is a neurological disorder, though it has some kind of genetic variation or input, etc. But the point I'm trying to make is this: that there are some who have just mild symptoms or disabilities. Like presently, the CP learner that I'm working on, this individual is somebody that one can really help. That the challenge he has to do with dyslexia, though he's also experiencing this acute motor disability, but he's somebody that can really cope in the learning environment, and that is why his parents had to contact my organization, and presently I'm working with the family to make sure that he improves in his reading. And for the few times that I've gone there to really handle him, within the shortest possible time, I discovered that is beginning to understand what the code of reading, and it is based on the positive result that I've started generating that encourage the evolution of this video. And then the next question is, what are the 7 structured literacy inspired ideas that an individual, maybe if you are a kind of a psychologist, whether a school psychologist, you're a health worker, you are a reading coach, you're a school owner, if they say, or you're a parent who believes that yes, my child can master reading, this video is for you. So at this juncture, I'm going to be revealing the 7 structured literacy inspired ideas that one can really implement. But before I go into my explication, I think it is important for me to make you understand this fact that structured literacy is just like the buzzword in the reading, in the reading field globally. And structured literacy has to do with the fact that to be able to teach a kid or a learner or a student how to read, a kid who is experiencing whether dyslexia or reading difficulty, that you need what is called the science of reading. It's from the science of reading that the structured literacy instruction evolved. And what is the science of reading? The science of reading just simply means the role of the brain in reading acquisition. So now back to the 7 structured literacy inspired ideas. So the first thing I did when I met with my clients, and who I would like to refer to as a Professor O, I conducted what is called the dyslexia screening and assessment. So the first thing that I'm going to really advise, or the first idea, or the first thing, has to do with the fact that you need to do what to conduct a dyslexia and a kind of, it could be dyslexia assessment or dyslexia screening. That was what I did, and this is like the form. You can see reading difficulty and dyslexia guide. It was this that I was able to discover that my client, Professor O, is still at the pre-alphabetic stage. According to one of the leading authorities in the field of reading. Her name is Professor Linear Airy. She was able. She developed a kind of a concept, and she broke the concept into 5 phases of what she called a reading phases, or a reading acquisition journey. And the first one has to do with the pre-alphabetic stage, partial alphabetic, full alphabetic, consolidated alphabetic, and automatic alphabetic. So it was during my dyslexia screening that I discovered that my client, despite the fact that he is 16 years old, but he's still at the pre-alphabetic phase of reading. And do not forget, not too long ago, our organization, Edubrainix Africa Consulting Limited, we developed what is called the reading and writing staircase. The reading and writing staircase, and this idea came as a result of years of research. And in the course of our research, we discovered that America has what is called the reading rope. This is the reading rope that was invented by Professor Hollis Scarborough. She's an American. She developed that concept in that schema for reading in 2001, and this is Canadian concept of reading or schema of reading. This is called the ladder of reading, and this was actually developed by a Canadian reading researcher. Her name is Dr. Nancy Young. So we've done our intensive research. We've gathered data, and it is based on that we developed, for the first time in the history of education in Nigeria and in Africa, we developed what is called the reading staircase. 21 rules of reading, and 21 rules of reading and interventions. This is what every school owner needs. This is what every educator or education student needs in order to be able to do what? To help maybe a beginning reader, a dyslexic reader, a struggling reader, etc. That whatever level or whatever difficulty that a child is experiencing, that everything has been okay. This reading rules and intervention, it has been that thing has been covered here. So what I did when I discovered that my client was still at the alphabetic phase, okay, or the pre-alphabetic phase, he has not acquired, he has not understood, okay, the alphabet, what is referred to as the alphabetic principle. So I had to come up, I had to look at the 21 rules of reading, the 21 rules of rules of reading and intervention, and I discovered that yes, that I'm going to need about 7 kind of ideas here, okay, in the course of my teaching, Professor O. So the first thing I did was that I had to pick, yes, the number 2, okay, the alphabetic principle and phonology. It is one of the interventions that I'm using, okay, with my clients. Then the other one has to do with, yes, a phonological awareness. I'm also using that. Okay, I'm also using the multi-sensory instruction and teaching. That is the third one. Then the fourth one has to do with the fact that I'm using I've not used, yes, the native language instruction, or what is also referred to as the mother tongue intervention. I'm also using that. Then I'm also using Montessori and music model. Okay, these are about 6 interventions that I have incorporated, okay, in the course of what happened my cerebral palsy learner, so that he can do what? Can acquire reading. And honestly, since we started, okay, the results have been so encouraging, and that is one of the reasons why I said initially that I had to share this video, so that individuals who have learners like this, okay, can get 1 or 2 insights, okay, to help their own patients or clients. So we've talked about the first, that it is important for us to do what? To conduct the dyslexia screening or assessment. Then the number 2 idea is this, that it is important, okay, for every individual, every educator, every teacher, every school psychologist, every education student to know about the brain. That the more you understand the brain, okay, the better for you to be able to actually help any learner that you come across. That what is education? Okay, according to Professor Chris Kuma, he said education is simply brain development. So if you understand the brain, okay, whatever challenge that your learners, your kids, your students are experiencing, insight from the brain, okay, would guide you, okay, on how to resolve, okay, whatever is the type of difficulty or impairment that your learners, your kids, your students are experiencing within your pedagogic kind of purview or a circle. Then the other thing has to do, so the second point has to do with that we must understand what the brain. And in our training, that is why we're equipping, okay, participants. We don't only restrict ourselves to neuroscience, but our course is a combination of neuroscience and educational neuroscience. So it is important, okay, for participants, okay, for my listeners to do what? If you know you're interested in the training, we are going to do what? We shall empower you. Then the next point is this, that you must understand that the prefrontal cortex, okay, it is part of the neocortex, okay, the higher order areas of the brain, and the prefrontal cortex plays key role in learning, and that the prefrontal cortex is the last part of the brain, okay, to get to be fully matured. According to some neuroscientists, they said it takes up to 25 years for this part of the brain to be fully matured. So this is it. And that part of the brain is what is vulnerable, is susceptible, to different kind of plasticity. Plasticity or neuroplasticity is just a kind of is a brain inspired concept that has to do with the fact that the brain can change itself as a result of whether good or bad experience. Education, for example, okay, causes positive neuroplasticity, but too much of alcohol, what causes, okay, results in negative plasticity. So the point I'm trying to make here is this, that I've realized that my client, that he has some modicum amount of maybe learning difficulty. So what I'm doing presently, based on my background, okay, in neuroscience, is to make sure that I do what I cause what is called prefrontal plasticity. Okay, one of the tools that I'm using, okay, is visualization and imagination. I always tell him that, look, whenever I'm teaching him, close your eyes. So I want you to imagine this. Okay, the more I bombard this part of the brain, okay, with novel ideas, with novel information, okay, the neurons, okay, in that part of the brain, they will do what? They will start, okay, talking to each other, and in the process, the population of neurons, okay, would increase, thereby improving, okay, that part of the brain that also supports what? Education. So your the knowledge of neuroscience and educational neuroscience is extremely important in helping you in your practice. So the next idea has to do with assisted technology. Presently, I don't only teach him. Okay, I use different tools. Okay, we have a keyboard that he uses to type. We use Jollyphonics, Jollyphonics, okay, that have to do with nursery rhymes, okay, that has Jollyphonics that have to do with nursery rhymes, okay, alliteration, okay, songs, okay, etc. Then another thing then at times I might ask him to pronounce apple. Then I will put it on Google Speak. Then as soon as he pronounces apple, okay, the picture of the apple would appear. Okay, I will ask him, okay, how many colors can we see? So the idea I'm trying to really pass across is that try and make sure that you use what? Different channels. And this would have tremendous or a kind of a profound impact, okay, on your instruction. Then another point that is worth sharing is what I call the PAP. That whenever you are with this kind of unique learners, you have to express or you have to integrate pedagogic patience. You don't have to be in a hurry, okay, for results. You have to take things atomistically. Take it, it is one small chunk, okay, to the other. You have to actually practice what I call scholastic scaffolding. Okay, don't be in a hurry, take it one step at a time. Then the sixth idea has to do with exploring, okay, his strength and downplaying his weaknesses. I realized that because he's having a CP, that he has this severe, okay, motor disorder. So and that is and despite this severe motor disorder, which happens to be one of his weaknesses, but he has this very astonishing oral language fluency. He can speak like a professor, and that is why I've just labeled him Professor O. So I've decided to integrate, okay, my instructions and my interventions in line with the strength that he already possesses. And one of the things that I'm focusing on has to do with prosody and phonological awareness. Then another thing that is worth stressing is what is called the multisensory or the multimodal instruction and teaching. If you look at it, this is the multimodal. So I'm using instructions that appeal to his five senses and others, like the sense of touch, okay, visual, the kinesthetic, okay, the affective, etc. The affective has to do with the fact that if you look at this intervention, there's something called one of the interventions that we're using has to do with MAD. Okay, MAD stands for motivation, attention, and dopamine. This has been working tremendously. For example, if I give him an assignment and if he gets it, it's either at the end of that day's lesson, I reward him with something that is concrete. It could be sweets, candy, or biscuit. Then I'm going to tell him, "Oh, give me 5, Professor." Oh, he will be so happy. And this intervention or this technique has been encouraging him, and he has been learning. The speed, okay, of his understanding has been so phenomenal. So these are the 7 structured literacy inspired ideas, okay, for doing what, for teaching or empowering cerebral palsy learners. I just want to really, at this medium, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your patience with me. Please, I want you to really share this video. And that if you have any questions, do not forget there is a link there. Okay, drop your questions. I am going to definitely respond to your questions. Thank you so very much once again, and I shall see you in the next video.